It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Rocky Valley College head volleyball coach, Coach Kristy Pierce. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in coaching in college volleyball?
Well, I actually had a successful career as a high school coach, and so I didn't really give college coaching much thought. I actually turned down a few jobs along the way. But sometimes opportunities have a way of finding you. And when I took the interview here, I knew this was a place I wanted to be.
Of course, what was that experience like getting to play collegiate volleyball?
Getting to play? Oh, it was a great opportunity. I was a young, a young athlete looking for an avenue to, play games and do things I loved. And that was just a great opportunity for a small town girl like me to go to a college and be able to play as many sports as I could get my hands on.
Of course, after your playing collegiate experience, what was that like getting into coaching and first coaching on the high school level?
I was just very excited to share the experiences that I was given from my coaches onto my players. And so I think that enthusiasm is what sparked a very long career. And I think that still having that enthusiasm is important after all these years. And I just wanted to give back what was given to me.
How was your experience like getting to coach high school volleyball?
What my experience was like. I had an amazing experience. I was very fortunate that my first job was in a very supportive and caring community where the families were amazing to the school and myself and the program. And we built something pretty special at first Shannon High School and then became Eastland High School. It would probably take 2 of your podcasts for me to explain all the amazingness of those 34 years.
Of course, what was that experience like taking those teams to the Class A state championship?
Well, we were able to take care of that 4 different times with 4 different groups of young ladies. And I would have to tell you that that is a bonding experience, not only for me to them, but them and their classmates, the school, the community, their families. It's still talked about now. Even the very first experience back in 2003. Anytime I meet up with the kids, the families, or someone in the community, that's all they want to talk about. So I just think that that's an experience that is a lifetime experience for those young athletes, the community, and the school.
Of course, for you as a head coach, what was that like getting to coach in those Class A state championships?
Well, I think as a coach, you always have what is the pinnacle of your career and what is the highest thing you can achieve. And of course, a state championship for a high school coach is the highest level of achievement. And I think that oftentimes when you begin, you feel like I'm never going to be able to achieve that, but then you get close and you roll up your sleeves and work harder. And I think that that's just the icing on the cake for high school coaches to be able to win several state championships, and not one was better than the other, and they were all just unique in of themselves.
Of course, what was that transition like from going from being a high school coach to getting into college and coming to Rock Valley?
Well, obviously, the speed of the game changes a little bit. Every level that you are able to move up, the speed of the game is kind of a big deciding factor of that. But volleyball is volleyball. You learn the skill. If you can serve, receive to attack, then you're going to be a good player. And it's just, it really wasn't dramatically different. Learning how to recruit maybe perhaps was the biggest change for me. But volleyball is volleyball. It's just a little faster on this level.
What was that feeling like getting announced to become the next head coach for Rock Valley?
I mean, it was a special. I had actually have a transition year, so I was done coaching high school, and then I was a year just kind of helping friends out with their programs, and so it was just uniquely special to get back into it, get back into the gym, and begin coaching again. It was just very exciting, a re-excitement of sorts, time in my career.
What was that feeling like the first time you got to step onto the volleyball court as a head coach?
Well, I've been in so many gyms before. It was just like a different chapter, different scenery kind of event. And I think that every time that you make these changes in your career, it just sparks new excitement, new goals, new energy. And I think I just felt all that at that moment.
How was it like getting to take over the Rock Valley team and building it into your own team?
Well, the culture here at Rock Valley is a culture of excellence. Every sport we have achieves on a very high level. That's why they call it the home of champions. All our commercials, that's what the theme is, and that's what this place is, the home of champions. So I'm just feeling very blessed that they took a chance on me, hired me to be here so that I could be part of this amazing culture that we have here at Rock Valley and be part of the home of champions.
Who are some of the teams in your conference that you compete against?
Well, we don't want to give them any airtime, do we? We are currently not in a conference. We're in a region. It's a region 4, one of the strongest regions in the country. So the region is all over northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin.
What is that like, obviously, getting to play in that region where southern Illinois and other states are, where you can go play D1 or D2 schools?
Yes, I think that that's important for us now that we're D2. It's important for us to be able to play teams higher division than us, also teams strategically all over the Midwest. Actually, the biggest tournament in the country for junior college is held right here in Rockford, and so we get teams from Florida, Texas, all over the country. So the exposure is good. It tells us that we are indeed, it's a good measuring stick at the beginning of the year, that we are indeed, have a good team, and that it's a good measuring stick of where we're at because we're playing D1, D3, and D2 teams.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you've built for the volleyball program?
Well, I'm used to winning, and I think it's important to bring that piece into the mix that's already here. Like we talked about Rock Valley being a culture of champions, and it is. And so I didn't have to really bring much. I just, in the beginning, brought my energy and passion for the game to Rock Valley, to the volleyball program specifically, but the culture is already here. It's a culture of excellence, culture of winning. When you're hired here, you're asked to try to compete for a national championship, and that's what we try to do every year.
What does a typical volleyball match look like for you as a head coach versus for your players?
As a head coach, it's scouting, getting scouting reports, meeting with players, doing that kind of logistical work, just making sure you're prepped and your substitution patterns, whatever it is you need to prep for. For the players, it's probably different in the fact that they receive the scouting report, they know what to do. They're prepping themselves with music and whatever young people do, but For them, it's just an exciting day of preparing for matches. For us coaches, it's just making sure that we have everything in place for a successful night.
What does that home game atmosphere look like at Rock Valley?
It's very good. It's a very family-orientated culture here at Rock Valley. So all the other sports teams attend. All the other head coaches are attending and probably helping out at the match in some capacity. So game day is a special day for everybody at Rock Valley, no matter what sport you're in.
As a head coach, what is that like the first time you get to step on that court on game day?
It's exciting. It's a privilege. It's not lost on me since I've done this for 40 years, that at any time it could be over, and just try to live in that moment every single time you're out there. I think you have to have pride and ownership in what you're doing, and I think we do that pretty well here at Rock Valley.
What does that recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes?
Say that again, Brandon.
What does that recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes?
Recruitment is very unique per player, per where they're at in the country, if they're international or so it's all a very unique experience. Some players make official visits and come to campus. Some players don't even do that, just rely on videos and or Zoom meetings. So it's very uniquely individualized recruitment process, I would have to say.
Of course, for those prospective student athletes coming on that official visit, what does that typical official visit look like at Rock Valley?
If they come on an official visit, it's usually a tour of campus, obviously, in our facilities. Sometimes it's a practice with the team, depending on what season we're in, where the student prospective athlete is in their season. Sometimes it's just an individual workout. Might be lunch or dinner, might be conversations with the team. It's just very, again, individualized, but we want to make sure that before they come, we find out what it is that's important to them so that we can kind of cater their visit to what's important.
Of course, as a head coach, what is it like seeing those prospective student athletes as freshmen putting on that Rock Valley jersey for the first time?
I think it's, as you go through the recruitment process, you're building relationships, and that's kind of what coaching is all about. You're building those relationships. And when they finally get there and you finally have everything ready to go and they're finally ready to step on the court, I think it's just a sense of fulfillment that, here we are, let's have a great career together. This is the start of something special.
As a head coach, what is it like seeing those freshmen put it on for the first time and the seniors putting it on for the last time?
For the last time, it's kind of bittersweet. The one great thing about JUCO is the fact that once they, put that on, it's probably not the last time they put a uniform on, although it's the last time they put our uniform on, because a big piece of our job is to recruit them after they've had a successful career here. So it's just a matter of pride in how far we've been able to get them from the moment they arrived to the moment they're finished with Rock Valley and graduated, and we're ready to get them on to their next adventure.
Of course, as a coach, what is it like helping those players go on and go to, as you said, go from JUCO to then go to another team, whether it's Division I, Division II, or even III?
Yes. I mean, we take a great deal of pride in that. And I think same feeling I had as a high school coach getting my kids onto a college campus. It's the same thing for a JUCO coach to get their kids onto a 4-year college campus, if it's after one season or after two. But it's just, and then we can watch them later on and talk to them to see how their progress is going there. It's just, again, it's about relationships. And that's a very strong relationship that we develop when we're here, and that carries on into their next path.
What is that home game atmosphere like?
It's pretty good. I mean, COVID kind of took a little sting into that, but now the crowds are starting to get full again, starting to fill the gym again, and it's just exciting to play at home because we have, without a doubt, one of the top facilities in junior college in the Midwest. It is a wonderful facility, and it's just nice to fill it and have that home atmosphere.
What are some of your future plans for the program moving forward?
We just want to keep getting better. We want to win. We want to win a national title. We are bringing in a very strong recruiting class this year to make strides for that. We have gone to nationals twice since I've been here out of the 4 seasons. So we're knocking on the door. We're just getting closer. So that's kind of what we're striving for always here, is just to get to that national title and win it.
What advice would you give those high school athletes looking to become college volleyball players?
I would just have to say, you know, whatever the coach wants you to do in the recruitment process, make sure you're a good communicator. Make sure you're staying on top of things. Kids have a tendency, because of all the electronics that they've been blessed with, to just kind of delay their communication and maybe just lay back a little bit. But I would have to say, be a good communicator. When you officially sign, stay a good communicator. Coach sends you something, be right on it. I just say, stay on top of everything. You'll be a much better player without ever stepping on the court if you're taking care of these things in the background.
Of course, what advice would you give those first-year college volleyball players looking to enter as freshmen?
You have a lot on your plate. It's a pretty decent adjustment going from high school to college. Learn how to manage your time, stay on top of your studies, and use your coach and your team as a resource for anything and everything that you may need. And don't be afraid to ask for help.
What advice would you give those college players that are in JUCO that are transitioning from JUCO to then go D1, D2, or D3?
Kind of the same process, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't give them any more advice, except, now you've gone through this beginning process with us. You've learned how to manage your time. You've learned study tables. You've learned all these things, take that to the next level. Be even more diligent, be even more on top of it, work even harder to try to achieve whatever is they're trying to achieve at their program.
What advice would you give those college athletes looking to go play professionally volleyball?
Well, that's a whole new ball game. I say dream big, but if you have a big dream, you're going to have to do the things that are required to dream that dream. It's a very small amount of people that even get in the conversation of playing professionally or as an Olympian or in any level beyond college. So if you're going to dream that big, you're going to have to do something to back that up.
What advice would you give those college athletes that are looking to get into coaching right after their collegiate career ends?
Call me. Call me. Call a coach that's been around for a very long time. Get advice, words of wisdom, follow their direction. Be adamant in the things that you want to try to achieve, and you're going to have to be a worker. You're going to have to work at it. You're going to have to listen and learn the ropes, and don't be afraid of mistakes.
What advice would you give those head coaches that were in high school looking to transition into college coaching like you have?
I say go for it. If that's something that you want to do, the transition is not difficult. You do have to learn a different set of rules and protocols and, recruiting, those kind of things. But if that's your dream, I'd say go for it. I haven't regretted it one bit.
What advice would you give those future head coaches looking to build their own program and legacy?
I would just say a legacy means a long time. And it also means you're going to have to plan on working at it and building it, and always staying true to what it is you want to accomplish. What is your goal in your legacy, and be true to that, and don't ever veer off of that.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media, along with the Rock Valley Women's Volleyball Program at?
Yeah, we're on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. We're on Twitter, and we're also on Instagram, all as Rock Valley Volleyball. And for me, it's just at Coach Kristy.
Thank you again, Coach Kristy Pierce, for your interview, and best of luck in your future as the Rock Valley College head women's volleyball coach.
All right. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon. And you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Kristy Pierce, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.